So, this is number 2 on the whole vlog thing, and I'm actually looking to kind of talk about previous one. I realized looking back at it, it's actually harder than you think talking into a camera. Even though it's not like actual people in front of you, it's still, I don't know, it's just the lifeless lens just staring into your soul. And so no, have realized I rushed kind of through what I was talking about, and I missed kind of a few big points that I was hoping to actually talk about. So I'm gonna look back to expand on those, include those points, and just work on just expanding. There's a lot when it comes to talking about confidence, and we're doing it the same style. I'm doing this live on Twitch simultaneously, and yeah, uncut, unedited, because gotta make it a habit first. So, sticking to my guns and making it happen. So anyways, last week we were kind of just talking about how it's hard to pull the trigger on certain things when it comes to making a decision, and it's easy to question yourself and that kind of stuff. Today, we are expanding more on the topic of confidence, and one of the main points that I intended to make last time that I actually completely omitted, foolishly, was that when it comes to being confident, it's easy to be confident in others as opposed to ourselves. Which, what I mean is, like, it's easier to hype somebody else up than it is yourself. So, for example, like, if you and a friend have a test coming up, it's easy to tell your friend that they're gonna kick butt, ace it, do great. When it comes to doing that to yourself, it's significantly harder, because playing back to the whole, we fear failure, right? So you realize it's easy to do when it comes to other people because we're not responsible for the end result, right? So it's just, we have to kind of be willing to take the time to realize that we are, like, at fault for doing that, and just notice that there's no reason we shouldn't be able to encourage ourselves the same way we can encourage, like, other people. And so that's one thing that I myself have been trying to be mindful of, because it's easy for me personally to hype somebody else up and tell them they're gonna do great, knock it out of the park, and all that kind of stuff. And when it comes to my work, not so much. So you have to kind of catch yourself doing that kind of stuff with other people. I'm not saying that you can't encourage other people, but you also need to realize that there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that same thing to yourself. And here again, failure is a possibility, it's an option, but it's only truly failure if you don't learn anything out of it. So yeah, hype yourself up and don't give yourself excuses, which is super easy to do. I do it all the time, but I'm trying to be better. This attempt right here is an example of that. Second attempt at this, and trying to keep myself on the schedule. That's another thing that is definitely useful. Not an easy thing to do, keeping a schedule and sticking to it, but it holds you accountable for the stuff you need to get done. So when I had kind of mentioned confidence in my last vlog, I mentioned kind of putting yourself out there, right? And when it comes to putting yourself out there, it's a matter of just doing it. and it's not easy to do, but giving yourself a deadline is something that can help out with that. And it takes, what, 2 weeks to officially build a habit. So realistically, giving yourself a deadline helps keep you accountable and give you something to strive for. That's something that I've pushed for, something that I'm working on, something that I'm doing with this. I actually just announced that I will be doing something that I've been meaning to do for a while. I've let it float around for a bit. I have a homebrew kit that I've had since Christmas. I've been talking about homebrewing for ages now, and it's just been sitting there. So I put it out there, announced it on my Discord, announcing it right now that I'm going to be homebrewing using that kit for the first time. Should be good, should be exciting. Not too complicated. And doing that this Sunday at noon, and that's just my attempt to keep myself honest, keep myself at it, and just stay honest. But yeah, so it's hard. It's not easy doing this. I was psyching myself out just to set this up again, and one thing that I noticed is I stumbled through a lot real quick with ums and likes, so being mindful of that. And yeah, so back to confidence. Another thing that's very noticeable, especially in society today, is it's so easy to it's so easy for us to just compare ourselves to other people. But the thing you gotta realize is, with every sort of like social media and everything out there, it's people choose what they get to show you. People edit their lives, and it's easy for people to paint a good picture of themselves, especially when it comes to social media. There are people who you see out on trips, going out, doing a bunch of stuff and everything like that, but you don't see anything behind closed doors. And never just assume that people have it made just because on paper or on their Instagram you see that kind of stuff. So social media is a big thing that you can kind of get hung up on, and just comparison in general. So when it comes to your work, a lot of it with social media and like YouTube or Twitter it's all, we let numbers kind of dictate how we feel about things. And when it comes to our work or anything like that, views, likes, anything of the sort, everybody just wants the next big hit kind of thing, and that doesn't, you gotta realize that comes far and few between. And although we're painted this big picture where it happens all the time, these people just get famous in an instant, it's not realistic. Everybody, for the most part, starts at ground zero. People who do art, people who do Twitch, people who do YouTube, everybody starts with 0 viewers. So, like, you can't let it be something that drives you, and, well, you can let it be something that drives you, but you can't let it be something that holds you back. So having it discourage you if you post my video or anything like that and you only get a handful of views. I mean, of course, it's your first attempt, and you can't expect people to just show up out of thin air and do that kind of stuff. It goes into just putting yourself out there the more you do it, the more people see you, the more regular, more of a regular kind of thing you are. And there's no guarantee. I can't remember what it was that I saw. I think it was a tweet, but it was just something about you're not owed anything. So just because you're putting yourself out there, yeah, that's a great start, and that opens up opportunities, but you're not guaranteed success with like everything you put out there. So you can't let yourself get hung up on it. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people do, myself included. It's not a great habit because it just keeps us from just pushing ourselves for the more often than not. So it's just something to not let get you down. And yeah, so I also have to admit that I kind of goofed. I was a little unprepared for this, but like I said, I wasn't going to use it as an excuse. I just wanted to expand on a couple of those topics, and I don't have a script, but that's okay. Because I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but so anyways, confidence, not an easy thing to come by. There's plenty more. Honestly, there's so much to talk about when it comes to that kind of stuff. Putting yourself out there, not comparing yourself to others, setting deadlines, creating a habit, not setting deadlines. Setting deadlines as in setting goals, not deadlines. Deadlines sounds like a negative thing when you think about it. It's not deadlines, it's goals. And if it helps to label a goal as a deadline, then so be it. Give yourself deadlines. And it's more about yourself. It's easy to get hung up on other people, because that's just kind of the society we live in today, with how easy it is to put ourselves out there. There's even less of an excuse when you think about it. You just putting yourself out there is as easy as taking your phone, snapping a picture of something, your artwork, your stuff, putting it up there. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. You have the option to do stuff. You have a platform, and people use it. Obviously, there's people who found success with it, but it doesn't work for everybody. But the people who have made it are people who didn't give up on their first attempt. I mean, you see these people who have 1 million views or everything like that. They put stuff out regularly. They don't let one miss just kind of get them down and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that I admire about those kind of people. Is it's not necessarily, and that's another part. It's easy to kind of think that, oh, they just got lucky, that kind of thing, because that's the cop out, right? That's the easy thing to say. It's like, oh, I'm just not making it because they just got luckier than me. Granted, luck has a very minor part when it comes to success, but ultimately it's how you kind of situate yourself. If you're not giving yourself the opportunities, then of course you're not going to find that success. And if there's somebody else out there who's taking more chances, doing more, doing all that, they have a better chance, and you can't down yourself about it. But I'm not saying to compare yourself. If they're putting out 20 things a week, you're putting out 10. It's not a race. I mean, you just gotta be willing to do the best you can and put out what you can and just commit. So, yeah. Anyways, I know I could go on. I'm gonna look back at this. I know there's gonna be things that I also want to talk about, because confidence is just something that is, it's a tricky beast, as you all know. But that is probably gonna wrap up my rant for now, just because I've been kind of doing. I was dwelling. That's the thing. I was dwelling on my last vlog for a while. Let it stew a little bit, and was kind of dying to put this up sooner rather than later because I was afraid I was gonna kind of forget some bits, but that's okay. I'm going to look to continue this, as again I'm saying, I myself, I'm not necessarily saying this just for sake of putting it out there. Part of it is I'm trying to practice what I preach, like these vlogs. Officially thinking I'm gonna commit to every Thursday, starting up my Twitch stream, starting doing the live video for YouTube, and it's gonna help me to just talk, and yeah, so I recommend anybody who's watching to do the same. Challenge yourself, make that, build those habits. Habits are like tricky. I've just this past couple of weeks, I've been forcing myself to the gym. I've been thinking about this vlog, trying to psych myself out of it. And like I said, I'm committing to my first homebrew this weekend. So having those actual deadlines is something that obviously gives you something to look forward to, something to plan for. And I myself am not only trying to practice it myself, but encourage anybody watching to do the same. And I know it's not easy. I really do. But it'll honestly help you feel better, because it's not like I don't enjoy this. Like I said, I was looking forward to this, and it just helps everyone, really. You have people who get exposed to your stuff, yeah, and it's just, why not? There's really no excuse not to. Like I said, the worst you can do is fail, but realistically, it's only truly failing if you don't learn from it and do more with it. So, yeah, you owe it to yourself. I owe it to myself. You owe it to yourself to just put yourself out there. And yeah, so anyways, that's gonna be it for me for now. I'm sure I will find plenty I need to add next time, but I'm gonna leave it at that. And I appreciate you for watching. And like last time, if you would like, if this is kind of helped, to just leave a comment on something that not something you're struggling with in terms of confidence. Just leave something that, a goal you're setting for yourself. Like me, it's these videos once a week, working out 3 times a week, and yeah, so it's something. So set the goal, do your whatever it is you want to do. Be realistic about it. Don't make it crazy. You can't go from not doing a thing to all of a sudden doing it every single day. So just if it's putting out some form of content once a week, like this, keep it simple. Like, it doesn't have to be complex, it doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be the next big thing, but just get it out there. And it'll help build that habit, help you just put yourself out there. And like I said, it'll help everyone. So you may not see it, but at some point it'll benefits everyone. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for me. Leave your goals in the comments below, and that way people can kind of get ideas. So that's gonna be it for me for now, and thanks for watching, I guess.